fighter.
Frank Warren for Queensberry Promotions in association with Hatton Promotions. Sponsored by Raynham Steel. Proudly presents 12 3-minute rounds for the vacant WBA, Intercontinental and the WBC, your Asian Pacific Heavyweight Championship. Live and exclusive on Box Nation from the Wolverhampton Civic Hall here in the West Midlands. Your officials are appointed by the British Boxing Board of Control, the WBA and the WBC. Your steward in charge is Mr. Martin Flory. Your WBA supervisor is Mr. Dave Roden. Your WBC supervisor is Richard Vaughan. Your timekeeper at the bell is Brian Heath. And when the action begins, your referee in charge is Mr. Howard Foster of Doncaster. Your scoring referees today are Daniel van der Vela of Belgium, Terry O'Connor of Birmingham, and Ian John Lewis of Gillingham. And now to introduce the contestants. Firstly, in the red corner stands a man whose unbeaten record reads 24 wins with 16 KOs to his name. At yesterday's weigh-in, he scaled 16 stone, 10 pounds, 12 ounces, and tonight he wears the silver shorts. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome, from Ukraine, Andriy Rudenko! And across the ring in the blue corner, with an unbeaten record of 20 wins, with 18 KOs to his name. At yesterday's weigh-in, he scaled 18 stone, 11 pounds, and tonight he wears the black and silver shorts. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the WBC, your Asian Pacific Heavyweight Champion, from Sydney, Australia, Lucas Browne. Your referee will now give his final instructions to both boxers.
Rudenko is taking a little while to get out of his dressing gown before meeting the centre of the ring.
The way expect, keep it clean, break straight away when told. Both of you watch it edging close, good luck to you both, touch gloves.
Ladies and gentlemen, 12 3-minute rounds for the vacant WBO, Intercontinental and the WBC, your Asian Pacific Heavyweight Championships.
Well, here we go. I don't think too many people expect this one to go too long. Fights involving these two generally don't. Watching Rudenko on tape, he's, as Lucas Browne described him, he comes forward, throws jabs, 1-2s, been described as a Klitschko clone, and Browne himself just bides his time, watches, waits, and then looks to land that big, big right hand. He's been working on a bit more head movement, on a few different things with Jeff Fennick, and we'll see whether they come to fruition tonight. One thing has been using that left hand a little bit more.
Yeah, he's got that big overhand right, doesn't he? And he's effective with it, but, you know, you're right, he needs to set things up behind the jab. He just can't walk through everybody, and he'll find that as he's moving up the levels. And Rudenko, you know, needs to be... He's a big lump, so he's not going to be fleet-footed, but needs to be plenty mobile, plenty of feints. He'll try and draw the lead of Browne. Browne being, you guess, a slower guy, but it should be easier to hit.
The inactivity of Rudenko would be a concern. You would think he's the kind of character who really gives very little away, absolutely impassive in his corner. Broke into a smile when his name was announced. Both of these two looking very, very focused before the start of the fight. Browne just holding out that left hand, trying to gauge a little bit of distance. Rudenko coming in behind a left himself.
But to Browne's credit, he's using his arms to block punches more effectively than I've seen him before. And he'll land, you said, landing with that jab, using that jab quite well. Hasn't been able to get that big right hand into play, but Rudenko just did.
Jeff Fennick it was, I think, who approached Browne, really said that he would be very interested in training him. A little bit of blood just trailing from the lip there with Lucas Browne, the bottom lip. Nothing serious. Fennick trained Tyson towards the end of his career. Mike Tyson said that Browne hits harder. They hit very differently. Tyson, sharp, stinging punches, like being hit with a pool ball in a sock, really. Browne more like being clubbed around the head with a big bag of wet cement. That's the kind of power he has. Right hand there from Rudenko.
Just seeing the defensive deficiencies there of Browne, swinging that big right hand but missing wildly, and Rudenko easily, you know, the land with a nice sharp 1-2. Well, this is where Browne needs to go to work. Like to be nice up and close. Right uppercuts and right hands over the top.
Right hand from Rudenko. The left out there from Browne, though, did make contact. Rudenko arrived on Tuesday in training in the Ukrainian mountains. He sparred Vladimir Klitschko a couple of times. The last time was just under a year or so ago. He looks a capable opponent so far.
Yeah, he's kept his hands up nice and high. You know, he's taken that right hand away from Browne up now the land with it clean yet, and he's landed with a few good shots himself. I think it's been a close round, but I think around there Rudenko's had the better of.
We're not going to understand too much in Rudenko's corner, I can tell you that.
Take a breath. Deep breath. Slow it down. You're going at too fast a pace at the moment. Slow it right down. Catch, jab, catch, single return, okay? You're trying to fight his fight a little bit. Just slow it down, slow the pace down, catch his shots, let him blow himself out, okay? Catch, jab, catch right hand. No, we don't want combination punches yet. We just want to work to the plan. Deep breath. Don't take any more solutions. It was better towards the end of the round, okay?
Okay. Interesting that Matt Clark's issuing the kind of instructions in there. Mike Jackson's there too, as well as Ricky Hatton. He's been training at the Hatton Gym in Hyde since he got over here on the 23rd. Keeps up in economy class for 21 hours. That can't have been comfortable. Fennick, though, as we've been saying, training him in Australia. Matt Clark is manager, someone he knows very well, given the task of communicating with him in that crucial minute, which is only ever really more like 40 seconds by the time everything's been sorted out. Try and get that information relayed. And Rudenko again landing with a right hand there.
It just exploded, showing he had the faster of hands, didn't he, Rudenko there? Browne landed a little right hand, but then Rudenko just exploded with a nice little 1-2. Just a little bit sharper here, but Browne knows that. Browne doesn't worry about these sort of things. He just wants to push you in the pressure, try and get you close to the corner or on the ropes where he can unleash that big right hand.
It's always cocked, isn't it? Ready to travel.
But he don't hide the fact. I think he's working on a few things, moving ahead a little bit more and, you know, trying to just step back and let punches fall short. But ultimately, he's just willing to walk through you if he can to land that big right hand. There's no, there's no artistry in his work.
There isn't, and he'll admit that. He's the first to admit it. Got a dollar tattooed on that right fist. He likes to call it the moneymaker, and in his career so far it has been, and we'll just have to see whether it can take him through this fight and beyond. Rudenko is the busier of the two.
Yeah, but himself not landing with nothing really clean in this round, Rudenko. He's aware, even if he's blocking the shots, he'll feel the power, the weight of the shots of Browne, who's just naturally heavy-handed. There's no technique, doesn't twist from the waist or anything. It doesn't push off the back foot even at times. She just literally reaches for from the floor and just lets that right hand ding.
Right to the body, right to the head, as they're just tied up at close quarters. 2 stone difference between these two, almost exactly. Rudenko 16-10, Browne 18-11.
Nice little left hook just prior to that right hand there from Browne, but a good left hook from Rudenko. Again, it's a scrappy affair, but I think Rudenko, for me, just having a slight better.
Nice left hand there, though, from Browne. He just slipped a punch and threw in the hook. No great weight behind it. But already, as we've been saying, a little bit more variety about his work than we've seen previously. I remember commentating on his first fight in this country against Paul Butlin. He's come on a long way since then. Butlin, another one testifying to his power, saying that he's never been hit harder than he has by Browne, and that included the crack he got from Anthony Joshua. So there's no doubting that punching power. Rudenko hasn't really tasted it yet.
Good left hook there from Rudenko, lead left hook. Again, Browne not being an elusive target at all, just willing to walk through the punches of Rudenko. For me, I think the cleaner shots and the more active of the two was Rudenko, and that was another round in the bag for him. Nice little bit of work there from Browne, rolling under the punches, coming back with a left hook.
He's kind of split his time, Lucas Browne, between fighting in this country and fighting back in Australia.
He's fighting too fast
in recent times.
Perfect.
Let him take
Much better round. Much better round. Your jab's perfect, mate.
You get caught with his
There you go. Yeah, don't get caught lunging in. Good round, mate. Good round. Deep breath. You all right?
One thing to note here is that Rudenko has actually never been scheduled for or gone beyond 8 rounds before. Lucas Browne has done the full 12. Did it against James Toney. It was last April in Melbourne.
And he's boxed the better of the two, hasn't he? Lucas Browne, he's got the better opposition. He's come up against undefeated fighters. He's come up against guys who've won some, lost some, but guys who are committed, come to win at times. So he's had to dig through the chances. Where Rudenko, for the most part, has boxed people who really have come to survive. So it's a massive step for Rudenko.
Browne's corner was certainly encouraged by that second round. I think the feeling there is that maybe Rudenko will punch himself out, get more tired as the rounds wear on, which may or may not be the case. It's uncharted territory. It will be if we get beyond 8 rounds. Not many people are expecting us to one way or the other, given the records of these two. Browne just treading on Rudenko's foot there by accident.
A little bit of defensive work there from Browne, just blocking the shots with his arms. She's worked on stuff. And no one really landed with anything clean of note just yet. The Rudenko's landed with the head.
Right hand from Rudenko came from way back, and Browne was able just to take a step back himself and then take it on the gloves. A little bit of marking up just above the right eyebrow. Nice left hand as they broke. A good distance above that eyebrow. It's a scrape more than anything else.
Well, he came through cuts in his last fight, didn't he, Lucas Browne? A nasty cut and came through to get the stoppage.
He did. It was a bad cut. He was talking about it to Steve Lillis, and it's healed well enough now, but he really had to put his foot down in that fight against Bohelli and take him out, because the doctor had already had a couple of looks at it. I don't think a third one would have gone without him stopping it.
Nice little bit of work there from Browne, landing with a couple of shots. No response from Rudenko.
Foster just warning Rudenko for a touch of holding. It is hard to gauge where he's at due to the level of opponents he's faced has been discussed. He did stop Daniel Claridge in 4 rounds in 2010, who had been a distance with Chisora and Price. Slight signpost there, but it's a while ago. Bell goes at the end of the 3rd round, and more of the same, really.
Yeah, I think I'd give that round to Browne. I just think he landed with a bit more. I think Rudenko was pretty inactive for most of it, just looking to move around, trying to get some success. But I think, for me, Browne, just seeing there the right uppercut, the left to go over the top. He landed with some straight punches as well later on in the round. I think that was enough to give him the nod for me.
But keep that jab in his face, mate. When you back him up into these ropes, he doesn't have much of an answer. So don't let him tie you up easily. When you put him in the ropes, time for you to go to work there. Okay? Good round, much better. You're backing him up. When he's on the back foot, he's not effective. Deep breath.
Just a few little nicks
Okay.
around the eye and forehead of Lucas Browne. Slight use of the iron underneath the right eye, but no real problems. Rudenko looks nice and fresh as he comes out of his corner. Slight delay getting the stool out. Browne throws a jab, and then for the first time really launched in behind with that right hand. You can always see the urgency and the explosion from him when he feels it's on the cards and he can really land it.
I was shocked for Rudenko. He just allowed Browne to literally walk up on him and land with that solid jab, and you just think, why would you give away the ground to a guy who's slower at hand and foot? Rudenko needs to be snapping out that jab. I know Browne's nicking your space with the feet, he's just trying to edge you in, closer to the ropes, so you've got to keep throwing that jab. The long left hooks.
Interesting background, Lucas Browne. No amateur experience whatsoever. 8 fights in MMA. Realised that he threw just 2 kicks in the course of those 8 fights, so he may as well turn over to boxing, which he has. He does say, though, that the 12 years he spent working on the doors, where he was shot at, knives pulled on him, and his front teeth knocked out, have prepared him for boxing in a way, because he says that when you've experienced that kind of thing, stepping into a ring where there's a referee and rules is not all that daunting.
Just being countered there a couple of times there by Rudenko. Browne just falling short with the shots, just not getting his feet close enough before he throws the punch. So worrying sign there for Rudenko being warned too early for holding constantly.
Possibly a sign that he's already beginning to get a little bit tired, just spending that extra second or two in the clinch, holding on for a slight breather. Nice right-left combination there, though, from Rudenko.
Lovely. Browne just landed the right hand of his own, and Rudenko again let his punches go in combinations, and that's what he needs to do.
Heavyweight scene being revitalised, really, by the couple of titles that have become available. The WBC, obviously now held by Stiverne after he beat Areola. He'll be facing Deontay Wilder next. Bryant Jennings beating Mike Perez last weekend. Would then have the winner of that, at least that would appear to be the plan. The WBA, their usual fun and games. Chagayev taking their regular title against Oquendo in what wasn't a particularly good performance. People, I think, are queuing up around the block to try and get in with him. And then, of course, there's Vladimir Klitschko, still reigning supreme.
Yeah, I think we're on the cusp of exciting times again for the heavyweight division.
Well, Don King's talking about the King of the Nile promotion, isn't he? Throwback to those days where fights went to Kinshasa, Manila, Caracas, Kingston, Kuala Lumpur, all over the world. How did you have that one, Barry?
Oh, Rudenko. I think Browne started quite sharp, was quite fast, but then Rudenko being landed with a few combinations. Just got his act together in the second half of that round.
Just got some down the back of this thing now.
Yeah. Now listen, there's a lot coming.
This here. Хорошо.
Tight team, the Ukrainians who've come over. They arrived on Tuesday. He's been ticking over since then, not really doing an awful lot. Started boxing at 15, Rudenko.
Погуляй немножко, не спеши на начале раунда. Конец. Понял? Конец.
A lot of Vaseline on the face of Lucas Browne there. I think the referee might possibly have something to say about that. He seems happy enough with it.
Good left hook there to start the round from Rudenko.
Nice jab in there from Rudenko as well.
He just needs to keep spinning every time he throws a punch. He can't just stand there, because Browne will just walk through, as we see. But he should be winning the battle of the jabs, Rudenko. Got the faster hands, slightly faster feet as well, and obviously better boxing skills, because he's boxed from a young age. But Browne put him under pressure all the time, isn't he? Always just trying to nick your space, trying to push you back to the ropes, and absorbing the punches mainly on his arms and his gloves.
Heads almost coming together there as Browne just bored in, tried to whip in a right uppercut.
Tried the right hand there, Browne. Didn't miss by much, did he?
No, he didn't. It just whistled past the forehead of Rudenko. Maybe just clipped him on its way through. And now just leaning on, trying to bring that extra 2 stone to bear the longer this fight goes on. And it's easy to underestimate the kind of effect that can have, but trying to prop up a man of Lucas Browne's weight, and some blood coming from the corner of that right eye. A little stream of blood.
Yeah, right on the corner of the eye. Oh, solid punch, solid jab there from Lucas Browne. Oh, and a lovely body shot again as well.
Some good power behind that.
Rudenko trying to fight back there though, smiling at Browne. That's the first time I've seen Rudenko even remotely troubled by the punches.
Browne, though, made to miss there. Rudenko tried to reply with a left hand.
Browne got to let his hands go. When he's this close, Browne, he's got to let his hands go.
The referee just getting concerned about the heads there. There's some damage to that face of Lucas Browne. It's not the way you should judge a fight, of course, but if you look at their 2 faces, Rudenko's is in much the better shape.
Well, Browne landed with the heavier shots in this round, but it's, for me, still Rudenko, you know, working him for the most part. That's better from Browne, though.
Good jab from Browne, and then he just looked to leap in behind it. As soon as he feels that he's got any kind of opportunity to really land that right hand, he does spring into action. And the blood from that cut not going anywhere near the eye, it's just coming straight down out of that corner, and just down the side of his face, and that's good news.
Oh, good work again there from Rudenko. He just lets his punches go in combinations every now and again. Good response back from Browne. Nice little uppercut, left hook.
For a fraction of a second there, Rudenko just left his chin hanging out. Interesting fight, this. And they've got some work to do in that corner. See if we can see just how bad that is. It doesn't look bad, does it?
No, not at all. But for the first time, we've seen Rudenko troubled by the solid jab of Lucas Browne. But for me, shots like this, then for the most part, that's to start the round from Rudenko. I think I just favour Rudenko in that round again. I think the first half of the fight, you had the cleaner work, landed with the most shots, just seeing the head clash there, and Browne grimacing slightly. But Browne showed some first signs in the fight, showed some danger signs.
6 coming up.
6 coming up. You got time, you get your second win. Don't stress that, you get your second win. You're all right.
Come on.
Deep breath.
Yeah, okay.
You're all right. Take your little breathers here and there, and walk around.
Well, maybe they're just slightly concerned about a bit of fatigue there for Lucas Browne. Matt Clark saying, don't worry, you'll get your second win. Rudenko again. He looks in good shape as he gets back up off that stool.
He does, he's taking deep breaths in the ring, but in the corners, isn't he? Just getting all the oxygen back into his body. Good right hand there from Rudenko.
Nothing to that cut really for Lucas Browne. It was the cue against Borhelia's.
Oh, good left hook there though. It was a good response from Browne.
It was a cue against Borhelia for Lucas Browne to put his foot down and speed things up, but it's not going to prompt that kind of action, I wouldn't think.
No, the cut he had is that, it was a horrendous one that he really hacked. You know, he was probably going to get stopped in that round, but he didn't get the stoppage. He was pulled out by the referee. It's not that bad yet. But still letting rounds, for me, letting rounds slip away. Hey, but he never says he's going to box you, does he, Lucas Browne? No, that's not his plan. He's nothing but honest. Oh, good shot.
Then just launches in, following him behind that left hand again.
Yeah, good right hand one there to lead off to that, following that left hand, then stepping through with a punch and didn't bother Rudenko this time, but it was nice clean shots and a good little bit of hope there for Lucas Browne.
Both connecting with jabs almost simultaneously. Constantly, though, just rolling forward, Browne. Landing a good couple of jabs there.
And again, yeah.
He's getting a little bit tetchy about the use of the heads, and there's a bit of blood coming from the left-hand corner of the left eye this time now as well. Almost symmetrical wound to the one on the right-hand side of his face. Can't let it affect his concentration. I have to say, I haven't really noticed Rudenko applying the head in any really untoward fashion so far.
No, it's just when they get close, he has his head tucked in nicely, he has his chin tucked in, so Browne's seeing the worst of it, and they do get close.
Nice left hand there from Lucas Browne. He sprang into that one. Puts Rudenko back onto the ropes, but I think he managed to take it mostly with a mixture of gloves. The blood coming quite freely from that left eye now.
It's a hard-fought round, isn't it, this one?
Energy sapping round. Rudenko trying to go to the body. It's a real war of attrition in there. I think both of them feeling the pace now. Short, heavy punches finding the target from Browne.
Browne, at least he's landed. If he can be able to land with that right hand, Browne, and it's strong, he's landed with a few good right hands. Nice little uppercut there as well. Very close on that one.
Well, midway point of the fight. How have you got it?
I got Rudenko up. By what was that? By 4 rounds to 2. For me, it could be even more, I think. But Browne being able to land more frequently now with that right hand. But not troubling Rudenko. I think he did in the previous round. He troubled Rudenko with a straight leg, a solid jab. But Rudenko's taking some of these right hands and fired out with his own little combinations. But in that last round, Browne, after that head clash, a lot busier, a lot more committed with his work, realising that just looking for that big right hand on the top's not enough. Going to have to work for this win.
Come in again behind the double jab. Look for that right hand, mate. He's starting to hit it. He's starting to get him with that right hand, okay?
Just some signs in that last round as well that Browne was maybe getting a little bit despondent, what he viewed as being overuse of the head there from Andriy Rudenko, and mindset has got to stay utterly focused on the job in hand, on the fight plan that was hatched.
Well, Browne's getting to a point though he's going to have to be busier. I think he showed in the last half of that last round that being busier was more. He was obviously more effective. Could bully Rudenko around. Just that's not his style, is it? You know, he's gonna blow out maybe if he throws too many shots. I think in this fight he might have to.
Catching a left on his way in there, Lucas Browne. Rudenko was just back on the ropes there, and he realised it immediately and just took a wonder forward. Good left hand there from Rudenko. Slaps into the jaw of Browne, and then a good stiff jab, finds that left eye again. Good jab there from Browne, followed by another one. Rudenko with a shake of the head. And the right hand. Again, I think he rode that fairly well though, Rudenko.
He's having been trouble, isn't he? Hasn't been trouble at all.
He drew a gasp from the crowd, but no great reaction from the Ukrainian.
But Browne needs to work on it. Once he lands that right hand, he needs to follow it up because, you know, for the most part, he's being outboxed by Rudenko. You know, one big right hand, unless it puts you down in the round, is not going to be enough to win it.
Left hand coming back from Rudenko as Browne threw his right, then he works to the body. Right uppercut was a good punch, but again, Rudenko shakes his head. I never quite buy it when fighters do that, but he did seem to be pretty unmoved.
Yeah, the expression on his face hasn't changed at all. He landed with a good right uppercut, left hook there, Browne. They're weighty shots, though, aren't they, more than snapping the punch?
They are, they always are. But at some point, an accumulation, you feel, will start to have an effect.
Oh, good work there from Browne, that's better.
Found the target 2-3 times in a row there. Nice short right hand, uppercut just coming up, catching Rudenko, who comes straight back in, though, with punches of his own.
And again, it is the first good start of the round from Rudenko and a good finish so far from Browne. Oh, Oh, lovely. Real good shots there from a long left hook and a straight right hand right down the pipe there from Rudenko.
And some of the lateral movement that we did see from Lucas Browne towards the start of the fight is pretty much gone.
When you start to get a bit tired, you revert to type, don't you? Revert to what you naturally know, and that's for him just a hands-high ball forward. But even though Browne landed some heavy shots in that round, I got him in favour of Rudenko on boxing skills. I think he outboxed Browne for the most part of that round, but all the power shots were from Lucas Browne. That's excellent work that is from Browne. Really good stuff. He actually did get some punch in that uppercut, but Rudenko, to his credit, shook it off. And Browne got to be hoping those body shots have an effect as the fight goes on. Because for me, he hadn't been able to slow down Rudenko enough.
He's sucking the air in the corner. As we said, he's never been beyond 8 rounds before, but of course it doesn't mean he can't. It's easy to look at statistics and fight records and see what fighters haven't done. Often they haven't had the opportunity to do some of those things.
Good expression in the corner, doesn't he, to his credit?
Right hand again from Rudenko. It comes from a long way back at times, but still it made some kind of contact. Double jab from Browne, and that's a good uppercut. And he had Rudenko in the corner there. Rudenko just managed to spin away slightly, but the uppercut, a good weight, good purchase behind it.
Better from Browne, in a faster start. He needs that. You know, he's been giving away the first half of the round in the last few rounds, and then rallying late. But for me, just a bit too late. He needs to start a little bit quicker. And he has so far in this round.
Slightly off balance as he was trying to stick Rudenko with the right hand. Letting the left hand go there, Browne. Didn't miss his target by too much, and they're both looking pretty weary in there now.
This is where Browne, you've got to turn him there, hasn't he? You don't want to be his back to the ropes. Yeah, Browne can't get no purchase on his punches when he's back to the ropes. He needs to spin Rudenko. Browne's feet, he needs to quicken his feet, doesn't he? He's got to get quicker to Rudenko.
It'll be interesting to see how the conditioning for both of them, in fact, holds up as the fight wears on. Browne has said he's been working on that. The inactivity for Rudenko as well. Out of the ring for nearly 17 months, and that was a first-round knockout as well. But you wouldn't know it from watching him so far.
There's been good energy, but a good round so far for me, for Browne, for this round. I think he's worked, started fast. Those uppercuts have been excellent in this round. Rudenko has taken him to his credit.
It's the last 30 seconds of the round. 8th round of 12 for the vacant WBA Intercontinental title and the WBC Eurasia Pacific Boxing Council title that Browne holds. It's all about the rankings, getting up the rankings. These titles, dismissed by some, do matter.
Yeah, it's all experience in it. It just builds you up, get you a few steps closer to the top 10 or to challenge for a title, and it gets you doing a distance if you've never done it before. And training for the distance, which is most important.
Well, Rudenko finished that round nicely, left and then right. Looks a little bit more weary this time as he walks to his corner.
Oh, solid jab there from Lucas Browne. And for me, I just edged Lucas Browne that round. I think he started faster, sustained it for as long as he could, and then Rudenko finishing slightly the stronger this time. Looks tired figure, doesn't he?
Okay. Well, then take a little step back, keep him there with your left hand, and send your right hand over the top. Pull that left hand into his fucking eye, where he can't see your right hand, okay?
Feeling lean on, you step to the side. Step to the side, let him fall.
Yeah, don't know, just look, you'll get a second win. Don't worry about it. You're right. Keep breath. This is what being the champion's all about. I want you to fucking use your jab. You didn't use your jab then.
Well, there's a sense of urgency in that corner, and he looks pretty exhausted in there, Barry, to be perfectly honest.
He looks absolutely knackered, and he worked really hard in that round, and he felt like he had to, probably, and he was effective in that round, but yeah, it took a lot out of him. He looked really, really spent in the corner. Gonna have to dig deep now. And something that you pointed out about earlier, Andy, that Browne's landed with the shot, but Rudenko's been able to ride, doesn't he? Just take the sting out of the punch.
Nothing's really landed solid, has it? There's not been any point where it's looked like he could capitalise, really just pounce and make his move, which is what he does, Lucas Browne. Bides his time, watches, waits for the opening, and then takes it really efficiently, but Rudenko just hasn't really given him one.
But he needs a catalyst for it. Usually he lands with a solid jab and rocks you back on a right hand that makes the guy who just blink a little bit, then he jumps all over you, but he hasn't been able to have that catalyst to start the combinations off. But this is the right idea, pushing, just edging the space, putting Rudenko in the corner. I would say for Browne to double up the right hand, because he throws it like an overhand right, it's hard to bring it back. I think he'd have success if he doubled up on the right hand.
Got a right hand through there.
He's having a better round, Browne, just because Rudenko hasn't really thrown a punch.
No, he almost looks like he's taking a little bit of a breather here, Rudenko. Maybe towards the later stages, with the weight advantage, Browne might be able to start to bully him a little bit, start to push him around.
That cut worsening on the right eye. Oh, both landing with left hooks there. It looked like Browne was hurt.
Did a bit of forearm. I think it was caught Rudenko in the face there as well on the blind side of Howard Foster. Nothing really deliberate about it. Left hand again there from Rudenko.
I think that's the combination that Browne should use, that long left hook. Same as Rudenko throws that long left hook. Browne should throw that long left hook, then get the right hand into play.
And that was better. Left hand followed by right, but again Rudenko just takes a step back. Real hangdog expression that he's got. He doesn't give away anything. If he has been hurt, he hasn't showed it.
That right eye getting worse as well for Lucas Browne. The cut's getting worse.
Catches Rudenko with a right on the break.
Rudenko missing with them shots there.
Ukrainian maybe just trying to bore that head in a little bit there. End of another tight, hard-fought round between these two. Most people didn't think this fight would get this far. I'm one of them, I must admit.
Again, that's the most success he's had. Down to the right uppercut, left hook, but so did Rudenko at the time. And I thought Browne wobbled slightly. But obviously, looking back at the replay, he just balled on, throwing his shots. It's been another hard-fought fight, hasn't it? And you're right, Danny, no one thought this would go this far. We thought it was going to be a 4 or 5 round job at most. They're both being asked a lot of questions.
Yeah, another round like that, mate. Another round like that.
He looks slightly happier in the corner now.
Yeah, I will. Listen,
When you get to this stage, when it
it
gets this hard, and you do have to bite down and get through it, how easy or difficult is it to actually listen to anything that's being said to you in there?
It can be too. Sometimes you're desperate for information. Some boxers are desperate, help and need help. Or you're just thinking about just catching your breath and getting the energy levels back. But, corners are very important at this stage of the fight. When fatigue starts to set in, they're the ones who instill the confidence just to it. And the basics about keeping your shape, keeping your focus.
Browne lets go with the right hand. Rudenko has never been pinned back on the ropes or in the corner at any stage.
No, but for me, I think Browne's had a good couple of rounds, last 2 rounds. Again, landing with nice solid jabs, Browne. Takes a good left hook there off Rudenko.
And it's opening up a little bit now. Browne landing with a left and then a right, and Rudenko just came straight back on top of him, putting him into the ropes right above us.
He takes a punch round as well, doesn't he, Lucas Browne? He's not the typical bully who can knock you out but can't take the shot. He takes a shot, but Rudenko landed with some lovely hooks in that little exchange.
Slight stumble there from Browne. Right hand as they were just separated on the ropes.
Good jab there from Browne. And again, something we never used to see off Lucas Browne there.
Right hand came through and then a right uppercut. That was a decent solid shot, but again Rudenko just wears it, doesn't even blink. And there was some power behind that one.
There was, yeah, and just because he's technically not a good fighter, Browne, just missing wildly with that left hook and just put himself off balance. It was a shame because he had a little bit of success there. He was trying to build on it, but just wildly missed with the left hook, and then Rudenko, to get out the corner. And Rudenko takes a shot, doesn't he?
He does. Just keeping that guard high and then trying to maul Rudenko on the inside, really.
Got to give Browne credit. He looked spent in the corner a couple of rounds ago, but he hasn't stopped coming forward, has he? Oh, lovely jab there again from Lucas Browne. Nobody's kept tugging on. He's bit down on that gumshoe and just kept coming forward.
Right hand there. Just caught Rudenko on the retreat again. He'd taken a step back at exactly the right time. Well, that could have been fatal. Throws back with punches of his own. Neither fighter's been able to dominate the fight for anything more than a few seconds at a time, really. Every time one has looked like he might have some success, might be gaining the upper hand, the other is always thrown back with enough quality to give the other one something to think about.
Good little exchange on the ropes there with Rudenko really firing back. Look how committed he is, because for me, I just think the quality of the work, the heavier hand of the shots are from Lucas Browne, and in a close one like that, I think you have to favour Lucas Browne for the weight of the punches.
Well, as we know, he was supposed to fight Derek Chisora in February. Couldn't do so due to an Achilles tendon injury. When I asked him yesterday why he'd been out of the ring for such a long time, he kind of gave me a rueful grin, hesitated, and then just said, well, I was out of shape, had a few family problems. Maybe there was more to it, but he certainly wasn't telling me.
Well, for me, Andy, it's anyone's fight. But I think Rudenko, he had a little bit of a fight back in that last round. He's tired in the last few rounds.
Still manages to get that left hand away. Right, followed by a left, but taken on the gloves by Lucas Browne, who gets that right through and pins him on the ropes, and that was a heavy shot that he caught Rudenko with there. And then a left hand again too, but again the shake of the head, but Browne is starting to get through more regularly now. That was right above us, sweat spraying off onto the table in front of us.
I wonder how Browne feels, because you think having success might spur him on, but also he's used to knocking people out with those shots. Those are the shots that he finishes their opponents, and Rudenko, to his credit, is taking them very, very well.
And again, Browne gets him where he wants him, right hand followed by left hand. Good clean punches as well, but Rudenko, as we've been saying, again, just gets throwing immediately and gets himself out of trouble.
The difference from the earlier rounds was that Rudenko's not an easy target, not a hard target to hit either. He's been a lot easier to hit. He's not really blocking much himself.
And Lucas Browne is finding the target more and more now, and Rudenko every now and again just starting to wear a slightly beleaguered expression.
Good shot there from Browne. He's landed with more jabs in this round, in this fight, than he probably has in his whole career, Lucas Browne.
There's really nothing in these punches from Rudenko now.
Yeah, that's been the difference the last round. When he tried to fight back, as you said, there's not enough weight in the shots to warrant him to give him a rounds for me in the last few rounds. Browne rightly tired. He had a fast start, didn't he, in this round, Lucas Browne. Oh, it's good work there from Rudenko.
Well, Browne springs back into action and catches him with the right hand again. Rudenko just sucked in there, maybe. He had some success of his own, and Browne saw an opening. It's just fascinating to wonder how the two corners are seeing it and how that might influence what happens in the final round, because I get the feeling that if Browne really puts his foot down in this 12th and final round, he could maybe get Rudenko out of there. I know that his punch resistance so far has been outstanding, really, but there are signs there for me anyway. But he's beginning to feel these.
But he's easier to hit, he's slowed down a lot. You know, when you're tired, then your resistance is just slightly not as good as it once was. But Browne had a lot of success in this round for me. I think it was one of his best rounds. Landing with heavy shots and really committing himself. And I think he needed to, because I think for me, I don't know what everyone else is saying, for me it's quite a close fight, and I think he needed to march through Rudenko in that round, and he did for the best part. But you've got to give Rudenko his credit. He takes a tremendous shot, doesn't he? Look at those punches.
Well, it is tight. One way to look at things when a fight is tight is just think to yourself, which one of these two fighters would you rather be going into this final round? And I think Browne is probably in the ascendancy in that context. A simplistic way of looking at it, but some merit in it sometimes.
But both of them defeat, and I feel it's a close fight. Oh, lovely left hook there. Snapping left hook from Rudenko.
Good jab there, though, from Browne.
You've got to give Browne his credit. You know, I don't want to be cruel. Not a lot of technical ability, which is obvious, which he admits himself. But the heart, the grit, the determination, the push through a guy who's taking his shots. You know, you could be demoralised, mentally tough. He's landing with his full-blooded right hands like there again, and Rudenko yet again just takes it and carries on. Even in this late stage of the fight, where you think his resistance would be really, really weak.
Well, given the inactivity, the spell he's had out of the ring, and the fact that he's never been beyond 8 rounds before, this is a colossal performance, really, from Andriy Rudenko.
And you can see where Rudenko gets his stoppages. Not seeing him box before. It's not with the weight of the punches, it's when he puts his punches together. But Browne, they both got tremendous chins. Really have. And even though we're quite shocked it's going the distance, it looks like it's going the distance, it's been an entertaining fight, because it has been action all the way through, hasn't it?
It has, into the final minute. Can one of these two provide a really strong finish? Browne just falling forward into the jab there. That was the punch of a tied man, and then just stumbles back into the ropes.
Rudenko trying to rally now. Doesn't show he's tired, Rudenko, but he clearly is.
happy to tie Browne up at the moment, happy to grab hold. Referee just with a quick word about the heads there.
Oh, nice little bit of work there, Browne. That's right on his feet.
Short left hand just clipped Rudenko.
Oh, cracking shot there from Lucas Browne.
Lead right hand from Browne. It just crashed straight through the guard and into Rudenko's face. He's fighting on memory almost in there now, but fortunately for him, he doesn't need to dredge up too many memories. The final bell has gone, and the crowd in the Wolverhampton Civic Hall really enjoyed that one. Lucas Browne raises his glove. He feels that he's done enough, but it's going to be interesting. 3 scoring judges, of course, the vacant WBA Intercontinental title, WBC Eurasia Pacific title as well on the line here. Unbeaten records, a lot at stake.
Oh, look at that for the left hook. That was at the start of the round, wasn't it, from Rudenko? Starting off fast, but for me, again, Browne just pushing through the fatigue and the pain barriers. Just committed to land the heavier shots. And I think that's what gave him the win, for me. I got Browne up by a couple of points. And even though he didn't get the knockout, and people will maybe ask questions that maybe he's just heavy-handed and has not actually a big punch as we think. I don't believe that. I just think Rudenko has a great chin, and Browne has proved that he can go 12 rounds in a grueling fight. So I think he's answered some questions.
Well, it's the 3rd time he's done it now. Clarence Tillman took him 12 a while ago, James Toney fairly recently, and then again tonight. Some wear and tear to his features, certainly. Ricky Hatton just wandering over to Rudenko's corner to offer his congratulations. Hatton always an incredibly popular figure wherever you see him. And working with Lucas Browne, he's noticed the improvement. When you've got Ricky Hatton looking at you when you come to England, and Jeff Fennick when you're at home in Australia, that's not bad, is it?
Yeah, it's not bad. Something else, isn't it? Tremendous.
1 or 2 weight world champion, 1 or 3 weight world champion. So he's got plenty behind him, Lucas Browne. And he'll be hoping that things haven't been derailed this evening. He seems fairly happy. He seems fairly confident. The WBC and the WBA, the preferred routes. Hatton has said that. He feels Stavern is beatable. He feels Chagayev is beatable. There's an orderly queue being formed for both. More of an official queue for Stavern. Wilder in the picture, and then probably Bryant Jennings as well.
I think Chagayev, he's hittable. So if Browne thinks if you're hittable, you're beatable, which is true.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 12 rounds of boxing, we go to the scorecard. We have a unanimous decision. Judge Terry O'Connor, 116-112. Judge Ian John Lewis, 115-113. Judge Daniel van der Wiele, 117-112. The winner, and now the new WBA Intercontinental, and still the WBC Eurasian Pacific in the blue corner. From Sydney, Lucas Browne.
Lucas Browne gets it then, unanimous decision, 116, 112, 115, 113 and 117, 112. But a big round of applause from this very knowledgeable crowd towards Andriy Rudenko, who really gave it his all. That is his first defeat. And bearing in mind he hadn't fought for a while and was giving away a heck of a lot of weight. And he went the full distance as well. But Lucas Browne, now the WBA Intercontinental heavyweight champion, that can be a good stepping stone as well. Both Klitschko's have held this title. 21 wins out of 21 for the 35-year-old from Sydney, but no KOs this time. Let's get a word from Peter McDonough as we look at this. I mean, it was another compelling, very competitive fight, wasn't it? And I guess it's a tribute to the Ukrainian in the other corner that this guy had to go the full distance, Peter.
Yeah, he showed his toughness, showed he was a very good boxer, and